car guy, really.
How are you? It's good to see you. This is pretty incredible right around here. I feel like I'm in a spaceship here. I like the cars when I was coming up as a teenager, like that Trans Am over there.
Name dropper.
Love Trans Am.
I do love Trans Am.
Speaking of, I saw, Cutlass W30. Ring a bell?
Oh, yeah.
It's mine. I'm on that.
What year do you think that is?
What, that right there? That's probably, I don't know by the looks of the book. Hey, Brian, I know what you're doing. That Cutlass is mine, dude. You can do what you want, that's mine.
See if I can find something exciting around here. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing. Beautiful Packard. How are you doing?
Hey, Skip.
Good to see you.
How are you? Good to see you, man.
Thank you so much for bringing this out. This is just magnificent.
Well, thank you. It's a 1934 dual-cowl sporting Fate Packard. It wasn't in the brochure in '34, and you had to custom order this car directly from the factory. I think there's only 7 left of this car known in the world. Packard originally produced 19 what's called 1104 chassis.
This is just beautiful. I love the fact that it's got the trunk on it.
Yeah, that's where the term comes from.
The trunk comes
Trunk.
from, absolutely.
It is truly a trunk.
What is that little door there?
When your guests were seated in the rear, if it was warm, this is high-tech HVAC.
Really?
You open that little door,
Air conditioning.
and it lets in air that goes through the vents to the rear.
Oh, that's great.
So that was high-tech for the day.
I want to see the engine in this. Packard was known for building just an amazing engine. Look at the size of that engine.
It's a Super 8 straight 8, 145 horsepower, but 290 feet of torque.
Wow.
And in the 40s and 50s, they actually converted some of these older Packards to tow trucks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How's it handled?
Honestly, it handles like a behemoth. It's got a 60-foot turning radius.
60 foot?
60 feet.
That means you can turn it around in the whole mall.
You ever heard of the ship Titanic?
Yeah.
I mean, trying
Not the same, huh?
Trying to steer it. It's a workout.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, look, go-karts. How cute. What are these, 10s?
Hi, can I help you?
Oh, what's up, buddy? This is a go-kart?
Close enough. It handles like a go-kart. It's a Mazda AutoZam AZ1. It's a small Japanese kei car from Japan. They made a little over 4,000 of them.
Did they ever make these here in the United States?
No, never. They never sold these outside of Japan.
I mean, this is tiny. Good thing for the gold-wing doors.
Yeah, though you hit your head on them a lot.
What kind of motor's in this?
It's a Mazda by name. It's mostly Suzuki underneath.
Suzuki and Mazda did something together?
Yes, so this is a 3-cylinder turbo. Being a turbo, it has an intercooler. That side vent isn't just for show, it is actually for the intercooler. It revs to 9,000 stock.
What?
Yeah, it's a double overhead cam, 12 valve.
This has double overhead cam.
Yes, this one in particular has a bike exhaust. The stock exhausts are really restrictive on these, so a lot of people, even in Japan, put bike exhausts on these. It'll go higher. It can go all the way to 9.
I hear the turbo too.
Yep.
Wow. Dude, this is ridiculous. When you're going down a road, you can go underneath the tractor trailer. If you want to switch lanes and the tractor trailer next to you, you can just go right underneath of it and keep on going into the fast lane.
Theoretically, you can. I've never done that.
No, I wouldn't suggest
Obviously,
it.
yeah.
I'm just saying that you probably could.
Yeah, it's a terrifying go-kart.
Being from the country, I like the big trucks. That's awesome.
The Parade of Progress.
It was General Motors' vision of the future in 1939.
Caffeine and Octane is brought to you in part by Capital One Auto Navigator. Find and finance a car you love.
We're at the Atlanta Auto Show, and this is quite the place this weekend. This is really what I want to see. This is a Capital One Auto Navigator garage. And this is where Caffeine and Octane is this weekend.
We're so excited this year. We're partnering with Caffeine and Octane for all of the events throughout the year. You'll see Capital One Auto Navigator there, so when you come and look at the great cars that are displayed at Caffeine and Octane, you can actually use Capital One Auto Navigator to find and finance a car of your dreams.
Wow, look at the crowd. There are a lot of people here. Oh, Chipper Jones is going to be here. All aboard!
Capital One's Auto Navigator, allows us to be able to have as much information as we can before we ever step foot in the dealership. How are you? It's good to see you.
I see you're hanging out in the garage.
I am. This is pretty incredible right around here.
There's a bunch of things around here. Let's take a walk.
Okay, sounds good.
Over here we have the exotics.
Performance cars.
I bet a lot of your associates have had those over the years.
See, I'm a big guy.
Right.
I can't fit in these. I had a CR1 Corvette, like early 90s, and I had it for like 6 months. I felt like every time I got into it, it broke my back. So I let it go. I had to go get something a little bigger. See, that just looks like it's gonna be painful getting into. You want me to try?
Yeah, you think you'll fit?
Right. Oh. Whew. Barely. Man, I feel like I'm in a spaceship here. This is crazy. See, now when these things come down, it's gonna bonk me in the head. Now comes the tough part, getting out. Jeez. I have a bad back for a week. Being from the country, I like the big trucks. Anytime you see, a pickup truck that's jacked up, it's got the big tires, decked out, and a cool paint job, that was the one that me and my buddies in school were like, that's mine, we would be the first ones to claim it. I love the mirrors, that's awesome. What is this just on the other side of it?
It's called the Impaler. Way cool car. It's actually a 61 Impala.
I love that. I like cars when I was coming up as a teenager, like that Trans Am over there. I want to go look at that because that's one of my favorites.
This is an old Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am. And there's also a newer version of a modified Camaro here.
That is a phenomenal looking car. I might have to use the Auto Navigator to scan and see how many of these are around.
You fit in that car.
I would like to sit in that.
I know the owner. We'll get you in it.
Alarm gonna go off? Yep, I did it.
How's that one fit?
This one's definitely big enough. I like this. If I were to come into this auto show and say I want one car, it would be this one or that one.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you to sign.
Oh, 100%.
If you don't.
Yeah. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and taking me around today. It's truly been a pleasure.
Let's go over and see the people at Capital One.
Okay, sounds good.
When you're first starting to look for a car, what do? You look out at your neighbor's driveway, you look at a supermarket parking lot, and you see things that catch your eye, but it's hard to find information about those. So Capital One Auto Navigator built augmented reality, which is a technology that lets you go out into the world and scan any car that you see. And if you've pre-qualified with us, you can actually see your estimated APR and monthly payment on that vehicle at local dealerships.
My garage is pretty cool, but this is really awesome. Look at this thing. The Parade of Progress. Skip Smith.
Don Monismith.
Hello, Don. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Skip.
What an amazing vehicle.
It was General Motors' vision of the future in 1939. The World's Fair in 1933 was such a huge attraction for people that GM decided they need to capitalize on that. So they took the World's Fair on the road.
Here it comes, the parade of progress. Now on nationwide tour, this colossal caravan of 44 vehicles, including 12 specially designed future liners, carries the big show and its personnel from city to city to give a better appreciation of the vital role of science in the American way of life.
Imagine you're driving a Model A Ford down the road and 12 of these pass you.
What a statement.
And that's exactly what it was. It was a statement by General Motors. Look at the magnificent technology we have.
Some of the features on this thing are great. Look, it's an Atom.
It is, again, they were looking to the future.
Check this out. It's a 3-seater.
And you can experience what it's like to actually set up in here.
Panoramic vision.
Yes. Yeah.
This is awesome. Now I can say I've seen everything.
I was walking through the parking lot looking at cars, and I happened to notice a gentleman with a white cane. He was there with his friend, so he could tell what the car looked like by his friend's description of the car.
At a recent C&O event, two die-hard car guys caught the eye of regular attendee Joe V. Two great friends, both sharing a single vision of speed and style.
I was walking through the parking lot looking at cars, and I happened to notice a gentleman with a white cane.
The car is beautiful. The paint job's better than it was originally. Nice car.
He was there with his friend, so he could tell what the car looked like by his friend's description of the car.
It's got a black vinyl top and a dark green interior.
I have cone rod dystrophy. I have some peripheral vision, and I can see contrast.
And it turns out that Gene lost his sight later in life, but prior to that, he was a car guy. I mean, a real bona fide car nut.
There's a lot of memories and details there that are getting a little bit harder to pull back up.
That's right. I kind of almost forgot that these cars had that.
I have a kind of a rusty car. You can't hurt it.
What is it?
It's a 63 Fairlane. You want to take a walk over there? You could do whatever you want with it. I said, have at it.
You're right at a hood pin there.
Oh, so it's not like stock. Okay.
He's got tread plate here over to protect the top of the radiator.
Oh, right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Diamond plate.
Both of us kind of know the same kind of cars, so when I describe a car to him, he knows what I'm talking about and vice versa. Check out where he's cut the fender for the racing tires.
If you feel this down here where the taillight is, that's actually made from a stainless steel dog dish.
You know, actually being able to feel like the grille and the little chrome pieces that were on top of the fender that had a texture of their own to them. And those wonderful wings on the back of the car, just taking in what senses you have and creating a picture or a memory and piece it together, and you do get that inner beauty that you can bring up.
I got to introduce you to Chuck Beck. He makes some crazy creations. It's a Lamborghini engine motorcycle. Right, check out all these carburetors. Feel this body work. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm guessing it must have a pretty huge tire on it to handle all the power.
It's a completely, one-off creation. Then being able to sit on it, again, that was just great.
Last time he was on a bike was his own motorcycle, his Triumph motorcycle a few years ago. I could tell he's pretty excited. He got to fire up the V12 on that Lamborghini bike.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like any motorcycle I've ever ridden.
I thought it sounded kind of like a Harley.
He's having a blast, and you can tell by his attitude. Hey, G, you want to go look at some more cars? There's lots of them here.
Yeah, let's do that. I come with somebody like my friend Rob. They've got a huge encyclopedia of knowledge about older cars. It really brings us closer together.
It just gets to me because he's out here doing what he can do, still enjoying cars. And that's the coolest thing of all. Don't try to get me to cry on camera.
Let's look down here. There's all kinds of cool stuff.
All right.
McLaren, Porsche. Why can't I have one of those? Why? And a Hurst Olds. Man, that is nice. I want one of each. I want the McLaren, I want the Porsche, I want the Hurst Olds.
Yeah, I love them all, but I like GM, especially this era, because you can work on them, find parts for them, and almost any mechanic can handle them. This is a 1979 W30. It was a limited edition car. They made less than 2,500 of them and bought it from the original owner. Has 37,000 miles on it.
Probably original paint, original interior.
Completely 100% original.
100%. I mean, you're looking at basically like a brand new car from my era of high school.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that interior.
It's all original.
Look at that. I must have had 3 or 4 buddies that had these things, except for they weren't the, you know, high dollar Hurst Olds.
Yeah, it has the shifter.
What was the Hurst Olds? I know that obviously the transmission conversion. Was there an engine, some kind of like engine setup that they had?
It's a 350, but of course all the decals is what it was all about, with the gold and the black. And then the wheels that are gold, that was all part of the Hurst Olds look.
I cannot believe how perfect this thing is. Can I start it?
Yeah, the air conditioner works. We like for everything to work.
Let's try it out. Oh! It's like a brand new car.
It has cruise control, so it drives like a brand new car.
Woo! Just got transported back to high school.
These were used for delivery vehicles.
This is such an iconic car.
They took this like American Corvette car and they were like, here, family-atize it.
Caffeine and Octane is brought to you in part by Capital One Auto Navigator. Find and finance a car you love.
CTSVs, station wagons, 2 of them. Am I seeing double?
Nope, this was the first production year. This was the last production year, so 2011, 2014.
CTSV means we got a Corvette motor, drivetrain.
Basically.
550 horsepower supercharged.
So 556 stock. This is on pump gas a little over 700.
700?
Yeah, like 705.
On a station wagon?
It just had this visceral feeling. It was like this big V8, lots of power. They took this like American Corvette car and they were like, here, family-atize it.
So a Corvette was like 50,000, this was
about 80,000.
So you can get a Corvette for 50 or a station wagon for 80.
But the station wagon carries the family and it's got the headliners.
Do you carry a family in this?
I do. I have a 2-year-old daughter. This is the family car.
That is crazy.
You know, you gotta get to daycare.
Now you're talking my speed. Now I gotta get the kids there quickly, so I need more horsepower.
More horsepower.
So this is what 700 horsepower looks like, right? It looks like nothing. It looks like there's nothing done, which means it's a sleeper. I love it.
Yeah, a little more.
That's what I'm talking. That's how you take the kids to daycare. Yo, I just watched the. I'm sorry. I just watched the gas gauge drop 1/8 of a tank just now when I.
God, no! You made it!
Hey, watch your feet, buddy.
Woo! I just love airbag vehicles. That will make it over a curve.
How are you doing today?
Oh, good to see you got the bus out.
That's right. This is a 1959 International Metro. These were used in the early to mid 40s on up into the 60s for delivery vehicles. And so they're kind of funny, looks like an upside down toaster, but back in the day, it served a purpose.
Any idea of the original history of where it was?
The only thing we can see on the side that it had something about furniture on it. So it was apparently a furniture moving truck at one point in its life.
This is such an iconic car. Woo, that's harder than it seems like it ought to be. What drivetrain you got in this thing?
So it's got an LS in it. It's got a front clip out of a S10. It's got the Blazer in it.
Okay.
We got Budnick wheels. Got 20s in the back, 18s in the front.
Nice.
So going down the road, this thing cruises. We truck about, I'm not gonna tell you how fast I got it, but let's say it loves about 85 miles an hour. And then had them cut new glass for the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
So we definitely wanted to see out of it because it is a bus and it's hard to see.
At least you can see out the side. I mean,
yeah.
Look at the doors. Boom! Love the pocket doors.